Path of Empowerment, Pleiadian Wisdom for a World in Chaos by Barbara Marciniak. Chapter 6, The Power of Human Sexuality. Everything is composed of energy that is in constant motion. From the inner space of your cells and atoms to the far reaches of the multiverse, the field of existence is an ever-evolving creative expression engaged in a magnificent dance of intelligent cosmic energy. During these times of acceleration, your main challenge is to learn how to manage subtle energy in order to evolve to the next phase of conscious awareness. Energy assumes numerous shapes and forms, and you must learn to direct it wisely, for on every level of reality, creative expression is only optimum when in harmony with cosmic laws. The field of existence is composed of a collective of consciousness that is both united as a whole and separate in each of its individual parts. Each part learns about itself through curiosity and separation. By journeying into new territory for the purpose of initiating creative experiences, it then returns instilled with unique perceptions and different expressions of energy to contribute to the motions of the cosmic dance. On all levels, consciousness is learning about itself at all times. As your solar system traverses new areas of the cosmos, it encounters patterns of consciousness that dance in those areas of the great celestial sea. Cosmic particles are living intelligences carrying patterns and codes of consciousness that stimulate tremendous activity throughout the heavens. On a personal level, coming into contact with these codes will arouse a deep yearning within your subconscious mind to heal itself and become whole. Aligned with the inner knowledge that life is a self-selected, sacred journey into the depths of the dance of creation. As the years unfold, many astounding changes will transpire on Earth to enhance the development of human consciousness. In the present, you are learning about aspects of reality that will, in some way, enhance your own personal plans for the future expression of your creativity. Your approach to life is always based on choice. When you intentionally select the path of empowerment, your decision notifies the field of existence that you are calling for opportunities to learn how to refine your use of energy so that you can be in charge of your life to higher and higher degrees. This is the path of sovereign divinity. This is the path of divine sovereignty. Remember, your beliefs establish the conditions for your participation in this reality. They are the foundation of ideas that you build your life upon. Your beliefs are interwoven with layers of multidimensional decisions and agreements made by you for the purpose of exploring specific aspects of 3D existence that will augment your spiritual self in all dimensions with unique creative insights from your experiences. Part of the multidimensional learning curve is dealing with your emotional capabilities. When the fine dance of emotional energy is unraveling, it will invariably reveal your beliefs. Emotions are individually unique personal expressions of perceptual interpretations of reality. Emotional intelligence, which can be one of the most difficult aspects of 3D reality to master, dear souls, is learned and developed through responsibility and accountability. Emotional intelligence is responsibility and accountability. The chief challenge to emotional intelligence and emotional balance is sexual energy. Perhaps both the most difficult and most dangerous of energies to understand, because the power of sex makes life and can destroy it. As a contribution to the healing along the lines of time, an open and honest exploration of sexual energy in regard to what it is and how you use it can contribute to a restoration of all that is sacred and missing in your life. An open and honest exploration of sexual energy can restore what is missing in your life. We ask you to consider, what have you learned about yourself and life through your sexual experiences so far? And even more, what new realizations hover on the horizon of your awakening mind to be experienced from sexuality? When you learn how to manage your body with confidence and grace, especially in regard to your sexuality, you will find greater pleasure, greater creative fulfillment, and more enjoyment in the purpose and meaning of life. Sex is a dance of energy. It is your contact point with the vital force of creation, as well as a declaration of your identity in physical reality. Sexuality is an essential aspect of your personal creativity. When founded upon worthy values, your sexual experiences will offer romance, excitement, trust, sharing, intimacy, passion, pleasure, fun, exuberance, caring, love, and self-worth. Sexual territory is like a huge forest filled with unknown mysteries. Sex is life. You are always sexual, and you cannot avoid your genitals and erogenous zones. Yet your beliefs about your sexuality can be the source of many inner conflicts, resulting in an avoidance of true sexual understanding. Hidden beliefs about love and your body can serve as the root causes of a basic denial of pleasure. Your sexual expression is conditioned by who you believe you are, as well as what you believe you are worth. Sexual relationships are not random events. At times, sexual encounters can span different timelines, involving simultaneous love affairs or other situations that are ongoing or in need of resolution from another dimension or lifetime. Have you ever felt in the midst of lovemaking that you know your partner from some other time or place, yet in a different physical form? Sexual energy is also a karmic opening to your own personal timeline and your own Akashic records. And especially during this time of acceleration between 1987 and 2039, where it is like living hundreds of lifetimes all rolled into one, you may attract people from your so-called past lives to recreate specific experiences for the purpose of healing unresolved issues. By achieving a higher level of awareness, you can reinterpret events with greater insight and release the blocks of the victim-victimizer energy that keeps you and other versions of yourself in a relentless holding pattern, circling around the same issues while never landing for nurturing forgiveness. Embrace your own power to heal your own sexual traumas. Insight is ripe for the picking during this cosmic nanosecond. Reality is open-ended, and so too are your sexual experiences. All those ones from the past still exist and are still open to reinterpretation. In today's society, even though the media uses sex extensively as a commodity to program your attention by implying that you will be sexier if you buy or do whatever is suggested, sex is nevertheless still a selectively private and very personal experience for most people, most of the time. Before you learn about and experience sex, it is one of the biggest mysteries in life. Yet once you encounter the mystery, you can become seemingly lost in the confusing psychic energy that sexuality inevitably involves. Sexual territory can range from a fragmented, isolated, and pain-filled part of your identity to that of an ecstatic, ever-involving integration of mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual awareness. In essence, sexual energy is a personal expression of the raw, primal energy stored in the human body. It is the most vital energy available to you because it is the ultimate creative expression for making and enlivening life. During these 52 years of transformation, an extremely devalued version of sex is being marketed to the masses in a not-so-subtle attempt to steer you away from the wholesome, vibrant, loving, and nourishing aspects of a healthy sexual union. Many people have become terrified of the genitals and/or obsessed by them, and have disassociated from one of the greatest spiritual experiences of a biological being. This deprives both yourself and the planet of a true abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and even world peace. On a spiritual level, your soul structures the parameters of your availability, what you are and are not available for in this life. Yet in the 3D reality, as you well know, most often you have no idea what plans you set in motion before you incarnated. In accordance with the mass agreements of the third dimensional reality, all life forms within the system of nature are programmed to procreate. Creating life through sexual expression imprints the DNA code with the perceptual experiences of each generation, essentially building and adding to the records in Earth's living library, the Lak'esh. You are composed of layers of energy connected to a spiritual self that journeys into and out of many different realities, timelines, and dimensions. When you reincarnate on Earth, you adapt to a set of mass agreements, specifically accepting a body with a genital identity as a vehicle for experiencing physical reality. Your spiritual self naturally conforms to any particular time frame through the celestial imprint your body receives at birth, as well as to the mass belief systems of your particular culture and the genetic belief systems of your family and local community. Accepting sexual expression is a mass agreement that is essential for the continuity of this 3D experiment of energy. When you make children, you create life and contribute to the living library, assuring the continuity of this version of the game of consciousness. Even though sex is essential to the perpetuity of your species, you always have a choice whether or not to express your sexual energy for the purpose of making life, and if having or not having a child is part of your plan, you may set up specific agreements to help you stick with those intentions. The power and use of sexual energy are much more complex than physical attractions founded on good looks and social status or smell. Sexual energy is like money. How you manage your sexual energy and the value you place upon your experiences are the basis of your personal wealth and self-worth. When a sexual attraction occurs between two people, they are responding to a telepathic exchange of energy and recognition of each other's intentions of availability. Sexual identity has its own distinct frequency, and your sexual values are broadcast into the field of existence, usually without either you or the other party being consciously aware of the process. You naturally meet a potential mate or partner when you follow your interests and impulses. Because thoughts and desires seed the field of existence with your intentions, you will notice and be drawn to someone you have something in common with. Sex is about attracting partnerships. Relationships enrich personal growth and development. Therefore, you will attract a partner who is willing on some level to work with you on the specific issues that are pivotal for your personal growth and transformation. Even though relationships can be full of challenges, you must value yourself enough to draw someone who values you and what you have to offer in return. The quality of love you receive mirrors the value you place on yourself. Through the intimacy of a sexual union, you get to know one another, and with open honesty and good intentions, unresolved issues can be jointly explored and healed through the exchange of energy that occurs. The risk involved with partnership is allowing yourself to be vulnerable and less focused on performance and more receiving rather than controlling. By doing this, you will find a deeper spiritual connection through sexual surrender. Sex, of course, stimulates your chakras to open and spin in alignment with the new currents of energy your partner embodies. Together, you share and merge your energy fields through the intimate act of sharing your genitals. And with each shared orgasm, you probe much deeper into your partner's psychic forest. Your beliefs about your body, whether conscious or unconscious, determine the nature of your sexual experiences. Feelings of fear and shame about your body are an indication of unresolved, pain-filled, traumatic memories. And beliefs that energize your field of intent and qualify the conditions of your availability. Sexual energy magnifies your frequency into the field of existence. If you are involved in a relationship that is draining you of energy and/or fighting is the normal state of affairs, then it is best to jointly identify and resolve the root problems, recognizing them as symbols and signs of blocked energy. Remember, the emotion of fear is the root cause of blocked energy, and your power ends where your fear begins. Fear is anchored in the root chakra. Sometimes it is well worth the time and dedication to work things out, and sometimes it is time to let go and graciously move on with gratitude and forgiveness. You must be willing to recognize what does and what does not work for you. Your issues are rich with many layers of meaning, yet they all boil down to how you manage energy. When you trust your sexual nature, you are open to explore the rich territory of sensual pleasure and will attract a like-minded partner. And together, you will produce a distinct frequency that reflects your combined energies. When a good sex life is considered by you and your partner to be inherent to a successful relationship, then the exploration of sexual energy will provide all of the lessons and tests required to teach that sex can open the doors to the world of spiritual awareness, where the qualities of love, trust, respect, self-realization, and mutual admiration are vastly enhanced. Laughing together is a sign that a relationship is doing well. From an empowering perspective, sex is sacred and wonderful divine fun. It is an invigorating, stimulating, and natural activity that offers energy to all of your four bodies: the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, and the thinking body. Good sex opens doors to the spiritual connection to the cosmic mind. Sexual expression is essential for vibrant physical health and spiritual health and emotional health and psychological health. And when seasoned with truthfulness, trust, and love, it is your personal connection to the cosmos, where doorways open to the sacred mysteries of the omniverse. Sexual energy is best approached with conscious awareness and as a consensual agreement between two people to create pleasure within the bounds of personal integrity, with respect for your own as well as society's moral values. Do your expressions of sex involve honesty, integrity, and respect for your privacy and that of others? Do your experiences involve more than just the transience of desire? Sexual energy is psychic energy, and when you have sex with someone, you literally take on your partner's energetic field. When two people stay together, after a period of time, they can become very telepathic with one another, sometimes taking for granted the ability to read each other's minds. In the trust and familiarity of a long-term partnership, sexual intimacy builds powerful psychic structures, like clearing paths that lead deeper and deeper into that magical sexual forest. Your genitals are your body's version of a sacred site, like pyramids or churches or synagogues. And when you explore your genitals and your sexuality together, you open the gates to the forest, to traverse the paths of power within your personal sacred terrain. Your genitals are not the same thing as your elbows. Earth has a treasure trove of areas that are considered sacred because of the confluence of energies that naturally occur there. When standing in these places, you can feel the sacred energy. When touching your genitals or the genitals of your partner, you can feel the sacred sexual energy. Throughout time, the land was loved and honored by those who could see and feel the power of these energies, and who taught one another to live in harmony with respect for the forces of creation. Sexual energy is just as sacred because it embodies the power of creation. And within your body, it is the most powerful source of energy you have to master. When you establish strong boundaries and qualify your sexuality with clear, conscious intentions based on very distinct values, your sacred sight experiences will be greatly enhanced. Sex can also be a double-edged sword. As you venture farther into the state of sexual love, it can stimulate exhilarating feelings that will stir you to new wonder for your body's remarkable capabilities to produce mind-altering chemical responses. Happy hormones conduct an ancient ceremonial rite to keep you in the hold of blissful love vibration at those sacred sites. The love and ecstasy you experience with another person create a profound sexual chemistry, and without this rapturous hormonal seduction, it would be far easier to turn your back on partnerships, with all of their accompanying complexities. In astrology, marriage and partnership are ruled by the balance and liberty of Libra, while sexual energy is affiliated with the deeply transformative aspects of Scorpio and Pluto, and for good reason. Sexual energy digs into the psyche to evacuate old, unresolved issues. Sexual activity roots out secrets and issues of power, and there may be times when the discoveries appear to be dark and menacing. Sex, naturally, can bring up all of your fears, and yet if you see it as an opportunity to work through them, which involves both listening and speaking with honesty and trust, and the fearless experience of embracing and welcoming your own fears, you can have a much more ecstatic experience with your partner. The more you share with one another, the greater the strength and beauty of your energetic bond. Opening your own personal sacred sites to sexual activity is an act of surrender to your vulnerability, because it roots out emotional pain, limiting beliefs, and blockages of energy. Essentially, sexual activity can root out anything that clutters and pollutes the elegant beauty of your sight and keeps you from functioning as a fully integrated human being. Fully integrated human beings are fully sexual beings. Emotional expression is essential to the development of your intelligence. Therefore, emotional issues will naturally surface before, during, and after sex. Emotions put the juice behind the thoughts you're sending out, and while engaged in sexual activity, your thoughts are quite amplified. Telepathy is very strong in the bedroom, whether the exchange of information is acknowledged or not. Remember, your ego can fool yourself, but you cannot fool others with your frequency. And as energy accelerates, the knowing shared between two people will be especially highly accentuated. Even if your sex life is hot under the covers, you still have to deal with the emotional issues that sex stirs up, because you cannot have sex without emotional and psychic involvement. Feelings must be felt, and accepting responsibility for how you feel will not only put you in touch with your beliefs, you will also be acting from a stance of empowerment. There may have been times when you were really enjoying yourself on the physical level, and then suddenly a tidal wave of emotion appeared as fast and as volatile as a summer thunderstorm on a hot, sultry afternoon. Emotional issues must be clearly addressed. Otherwise, you will back away from your partner, or project your issues outward and blame your partner for your feelings, creating an endless cycle of entrapment, of the disempowering victim-victimizer dance. Recently, these themes have been greatly heightened by the twin flame dramas, and the runner and chaser dramas, and the narcissist and empath dramas. All of these are expressions of the shadow ego and will not help your spiritual development whatsoever. Learn what you can as quickly as you can and get out of those dramas. Sexual activity is the real reason that things get stirred up. Nothing else presses those buttons as deeply. Sexual energy will always bring up suppressed emotions because activating the second chakra will certainly create activity in the third chakra. Remember, you attract people into your lives for good reasons, and if you can work through your difficulties with the intention of becoming a better person, and if you have strong enough common ground to build upon, sex will create a far-reaching bond with your partner that can restore and revitalize your whole identity, healing your body, mind, and soul. And if you do not have trust and love, sex will harm you. You will gain greater insight into your life when you are kinder in your analysis of your past sexual experiences. If you are too critical of your sexual activities, you will miss learning that some actions lead to pleasant, uplifting experiences, and other actions lead to states of confusion and denial, usually stemming from acts of deceit, disrespect, manipulation, violation, and destruction. You must value all of your past sexual experiences, even though some of them may be very difficult to accept. These experiences help you identify who you really are and what your soul has come here to learn. Your sexual expressions are part of learning about how to operate your biological computer. How fast to drive it, what to feed it, what makes it feel good, and what leaves it feeling lousy. When you are activating sexual energy, what are you thinking about? Are you aware of what is happening in your body on a cellular level? What is your heart feeling? And what about the sensations in your genitals and other erogenous zones? What is occurring besides the obvious outward physical aspects of the sexual experience? How do you feel in the hours and days following your sexual activities? Are your moods stable or do they fluctuate? Are you higher than a kite or feeling like you've been set adrift on a garbage barge? What is on your mind? Are you drawn into a specific groove of thought? What is your energy like a day or two before your sexual encounter? With sexual energy, you loosen the hold of your senses on 3D reality. Time can appear to be suspended, and your psychic senses are activated to help you become more fully aware of your precognitive skills. Being clairvoyant, clairsentient, and clairaudient, you may tune into concurrent vistas of reality, or even vignettes of your simultaneous lives, both past and future. You may see and sense people that you know now and gain insight as to what they are doing. If the image of a person suddenly appears in your mind when you are making love, pay attention to that. Bookmark it, perhaps, and save it for later. Or if you have enough trust with your partner, bring it up. When you have a sexual experience, the vortex of energy created can open doors to multidimensional vistas of reality, catapulting you into earlier memories from this lifetime or those from another lifetime. If both partners are aware of this, it enhances the experience. You must learn to pay attention to how sex alters your frequency and vibration, and how it affects your personal field of energy, your aura. And most importantly, ask yourself, what is the point and positive purpose of the information you are receiving? Sexual attraction creates tremendous energy between two people. Yet to really build a solid union, trust between sexual partners is the bedrock for greater appreciation of intimacy. Even subtle touching and deep eye contact create a highly charged field of electrical and psychic energy, stimulating levels of excitement that will culminate in much better sex. The rituals of intimacy, touching, exploring, kissing, rubbing, tickling, licking, stroking, holding, squeezing, and caring for one another, stimulates excitement on a cellular level of awareness that switches your DNA on and off. In a state of sexual arousal, as your relaxation increases, you switch your mind and body to off, releasing your conscious hold on a physical reality and allowing your cells to access codes of consciousness that express more of who you are emotionally and spiritually. In a sexual experience, you are nestled, immersed, occupied, and enthralled. Next time, see if you can observe what else is happening energetically. Together, you and your partner can learn to extend your feelings of pleasure and ride them to make your orgasms last longer. And while in the midst of this exhilaration, you can learn to focus your awareness on your heightened sensibilities and set intentions for manifestation. There is always so much more happening between two people on a non-physical level than what appears in 3D reality. Yet translating and understanding these ephemeral sensations can be difficult to accomplish, because both your physical body and emotional responses most often take precedence over other dimensional sensibilities. Using the same focus of attention you would use for remembering dreams, focus your attention on noticing and then capturing the essence of your multidimensional sexual experiences. After a sexual encounter, you are more psychically tuned into your partner as well as your environment, and this will increase as you and your partner have more intimate sex. Sexual psychic energy allows you to experience reality from an expanded vista. At times you may feel as if you have, for the moment, left your body and even turned into someone else. The familiar comfort of your bedroom can dissolve and fold in on itself. Suddenly you may find yourself lying on the ground, gazing at the stars from a hilltop covered in short, silky, soft grass. Or you may be sprawled beneath the velvet richness of a dark sky spangled with dazzling bursts of stars. Cosmic particles can relay codes of consciousness that excite your cells, and you feel at one with the dance of intelligent cosmic energy. When a strong impression comes to mind, be willing to share your realizations with your partner. Pillow talk, spontaneous laughter, and even gentle teasing will open doors to psychic intuition. When you truly value the energy produced through sex, you can make great progress in understanding more of who you are and how sexual energy opens your senses to function beyond the confines of linear time. Remember, the understanding and awareness you achieve here, based on accepting responsibility and accountability for every aspect of your life, can ripple into many realities, dimensions, and timelines, as the frequency of self-empowerment contributes to healing in all dimensions. You can also develop a greater understanding of the subtle nuances of energy by paying attention to the cycles of the moon. The waxing phase, from new to full moon, is more highly energetic, magnifying, lengthening, swelling, extending, spreading, accelerating, and expanding. The waning phase, from full to new moon, involves a decrease in energy, being tired and worn, and retreating into invisibility. The moon completes a turn through the 12 signs or 13 signs of the zodiac approximately every 29.5 days, changing signs every 2-ish days. The moon, with its rapid orbital cycle around the zodiac, triggers specific patterns of energy on a monthly basis that have a significant bearing on your moods and behavior, especially if you are a woman. On some level of consciousness, you are always responding to the effects of lunar and planetary cycles, whether you are a woman or a man. How you interpret and think about these influences can have a profound impact on your sexual experiences. The moon has a strong bearing on human emotions. For example, when the moon is in the sign of Cancer, you may want to be a homebody, nestling and snuggling and feeling secure. When the moon is in Leo, it is time for romance and play, accompanied by feelings of excitement. Virgo is about making order and being fully present. Feelings of crankiness may surface, or feelings about perfection. When the moon rises in the sign of Libra, you will feel in balance. A few days later, when the moon enters the sign of Scorpio, your emotions may feel more intense as the energy delves into secret aspects of your identity. And when the moon traverses the constellation of Ophiuchus, you can expect emotional healing, transformation, and redemption to be experienced. By the time the moon reaches Sagittarius, feelings of understanding the bigger picture unfold, so that the feeling of responsibility is embraced with the moon in Capricorn. This happens every 29.5 days. Sex at these various times brings up all kinds of energy, triggering a range of emotional responses by accessing and playing all of the black and white keys on your 2-mile-long emotional piano. The colors black and white are symbols for woman and man, masculinity and femininity. The woman is black, the man is white. And like the keys on the piano, the colors are keys to understanding the spark of life that the polarity of sexual energy provides. Sex is one of the most powerful expressions in your human biology, and the most personally empowering aspect of sex is the orgasm. The orgasmic state excites your body on all levels. The cells in the body respond as they would to the effects of a powerful gong being sounded to realign the body and fill the space with a vibrant energy. Gong. The French call the orgasm the little death. And orgasm releases your conscious mind of its rigid hold on the body, and your ego gets to have a little death. For a short while you're floating, suspended in a space between waking and dreaming. Here your cells and subatomic particles free fall with layers of your consciousness into a state of exuberant healing. Through sex, you remind your cells of your own vitality. Sexual energy is designed to keep you tuned up. It is part of what heals your body. The orgasmic experience connects you with your soul, reorganizing and revitalizing your physical cells as well. And remember, dear soul, your body is your soul embodied. The hormones released during sex alter your brainwave patterns towards balance and integration, activating the awakened cosmic mind. An orgasm can be a genital experience only, a full-body experience, or a multi-bodied full chakra opening, taking you on a journey into the omniverse. Orgasms provide necessary healing for the physical body, the emotional body, the spiritual body, and the psychological, thinking, mental body. With an orgasm, you are refreshed and enlivened on a cellular level, and you are reconnected with the essences of your spiritual self. You are suspended between probabilities with the 4 layers of your body, lifted up and aligned. At the peak of your orgasm, your body is pulsating with vitality, which bursts forth into the atmosphere, distributing what you want and who you think you are into the field of existence. You can learn to focus your attention on riding the energy of your orgasm through breath synchronization with your partner and by directing the energy with your imagination. Like a surfer riding an enormous wave curling around the ocean, use your imagination to move up with the rising swell of energy passing through your body's 7 chakra centers, and then swirling out of your crown chakra and spiraling farther upward, dancing in and out of the cosmic chakra openings, while remaining fully present, grounded, and connected with one another through the 7 body chakras. You can ride the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th chakras into the mysteries of the omniverse. Throughout ancient history, people have used sex for building psychic energy to transcend the bounds of 3D reality. With the right partner and in cosmic harmony, sexual energy can be used to venture just about anywhere you choose to travel. The essential ingredients for a healthy, well-balanced sexual relationship are trust, comfort, and compatibility, aligned with honesty and integrity. When you allow yourself to love and accept your body and the pleasure potential stored within it, you will have much better overall health. Orgasms create a healing on a cellular level, and the healthiest people have an orgasmic experience on a regular basis. The sexual act initiates deep, heavy breathing that oxygenates your body and expands its vital energy. An increase in oxygen into the blood brings about a heightened sense of awareness and mental clarity. Making love provides a boost to your immune system as well. Endorphins are released during orgasm, providing relief from pain, stress, and tension. Love and a happy sex life go hand in hand with vibrant health and a longer life. Remember, your state of mind during an orgasm, along with your accompanying beliefs, will qualify you to venture into the forest of sexual mysteries a little deeper each time. When orgasm is shared in a loving, trusting relationship, it can create the ultimate of healing in the physical body. Healthy sexual expression and great sex with the right person can reorganize the body at all levels. Trust creates a comfort zone where you can really connect with one another. Sex under these conditions is healing, because when you are relaxed and in your comfort zone and open to pleasure, you can really feel the love vibration between you and your partner. When this heart chakra love is present, the nurturing, sustaining, and regenerating energy stimulates your cells to respond with a big yes. This is cosmic creation energy. This is the primal nature of all existence. This is it. This feeling between two people is cosmic Christ consciousness. Remember, the orgasmic state creates a suspension on the cellular level. You are a bit above gravity, floating into a deep relaxation. People who do not have orgasms cannot really relax at any time in their life. And if you cannot relax, then you're missing out on the many multi-sensory pleasures of life. No one owes you an orgasm if you have been unable to discover for yourself your body's own orgasmic pleasure. You owe yourself the experience of understanding what an orgasm is by learning how to pleasure yourself. Human society has created countless taboos about the body and sex for millennia. Yet it is one thing to have someone else tie your shoes, and quite another to tie them yourself. You must learn about your body. It is yours. Explore it. The idea that sex is sinful or there is something wrong with your body is an example of an ingrained cultural program and self-selected limiting beliefs. Remember, you choose your beliefs. Nevertheless, you'll always feel best when you use your body with integrity. The highest of empowerment that sexuality offers is to take you into the stars for the ultimate remote viewing experience. Long ago, men and women knew how to entwine their spiritual selves with their physical forms to explore Earth, the moon, and the planets. They observed weather patterns and watched celestial activities, or scouted locations suitable for new living quarters. They wanted to know the others who were occupying this plane of reality along with them. Distant family and friends, both living and deceased, could be contacted because the sacred dance of life was connected and understood in all ancient shamanic cultures. Animals always easily shift between dimensions, and they were watched and at times consulted for their wisdom from this position between the layers of reality. Sex is like a rocket booster, and, coupled with conscious intent, it can propel you into aspects of reality that can deeply enrich your life. Sex with a loving partner is like riding a magic carpet and traveling anywhere you want. When you are having sex, you are stirring the life force, Kundalini energy nestled at the bottom of your spine, and inviting this serpent-like energy to come out of its cave in your root chakra to teach you how to dance with life. It is your responsibility to know and understand your body and the many ways it can be played and danced and touched and positioned to bring greater pleasure, and to allow this energy to run up your spine and spiral out through all reality. Activating Kundalini energy by means of sexual pleasure can create direct openings into simultaneous, multidimensional experiences and have a complete interface with the life you are presently living and your past and future lives. An orgasm with sensations of ecstatic pleasure localized in the genitals may entice the Kundalini up to the second chakra. Lifting the energy farther up the body is accomplished through extending your time of pleasure, deep breathing, deep relaxation, surrendering to the joy of the process, and using your imagination to ride the waves of energy. Thoughts of performance will shorten the process. When you slow down and truly allow your sexual sensations the time to unfold, you will build more energy and interconnections. With your partner, be creative and condition this energy by dedicating the explorations of your body and your sexual ecstasy toward your goals and intentions and manifestations in life. You can also send out the energy of love to awaken family members and friends, and to all of humanity for world peace. Set your intentions before you begin. The second chakra experience can offer a great genital orgasm, but not a full-body, full-chakra multiverse orgasm. When energy rises to the third chakra, you will both be engaged with the feeling zones of the belly, clearly picking up each other's emotional and psychological states of mind. In healthy long-term relationships, the energy will move beyond the belly into the fourth heart chakra, where there will be trust, love, and mutual admiration between partners. With the heart chakras finally open, two people may stay together for a lifetime in love. Many couples will build families and truly love each other and their children, having established comfort and honesty in important day-to-day matters. Even so, they may never speak their deepest truths or hear another's if the energy does not rise to the throat chakra. When there is energy in the fifth chakra, that is to say, when the Kundalini has risen this far, two people will really communicate what is on their hearts and minds, safely expressing their fears, joys, memories, and opinions. With this truly essential accomplishment, Kundalini energy can then move beyond the throat to activate the sixth and seventh chakras of the higher mind. As this energy circles the brain, an orgasm will reverberate through the body, building successive waves of intense, pleasurable sensations. Full body and full chakra orgasms cannot be experienced in non-consensual sex. Rape, incest, and cult rituals involving sex with children and/or animals produce a very low-frequency form of sexual energy trapped in the dark side of the lower three chakras. Participants in such activities are in most cases possessed by entities directing the human hosts to carry out the sex acts that the hungry ghosts of the lower astral plane desire. The shadow egos of some humans may derive great pleasure from these activities, especially if they violate someone else or get violated themselves. Pleasure combined with sex is relative to your values. However, the pursuit of pleasure does not give you permission to do anything you want. The purpose of these accelerating times involve learning how to manage energy, and in the countdown to 2039, what is set in motion returns faster and faster as the field of existence offers direct, quick service feedback on what you are creating. Negative acts create negative consequences. You are a product of genetic propensities, and part of humanity's healing at this time involves recognizing and releasing the dysfunctional patterns of behavior passed on from generation to generation. Picture for a moment the sexual lives of your grandparents and their grandparents. What was the sexual energy they experienced? And their great-great-grandparents? And your DNA family line from 2,000 years ago, what was the sexual lives of those people? You are now being called upon to use your awareness to understand the meanings of these patterns and then to override them with new beliefs that serve your positive intentions for spiritual evolution. You are now being called upon to use your awareness to understand the meanings of these patterns and then to override them and transcend them with new beliefs and experiences that serve your positive intentions for soul evolution. If you come from a line of people who have repressed their sexuality, you have those codes stored within. Yet that does not mean you will follow that pattern. You are not stuck with your genes and their propensities. However, the programming is there for how reality can be explored, especially sexually. It is best not to react to them and go in the opposite direction, my friend. Find the healthy middle ground. Sexual energy is deeply encoded within the body. It is a raw, primal energy. Women in particular have inherited patterns of perception that have restricted their ability and desire to have an orgasm. Actually, there are many women who have never had an orgasm. Countless women have learned to fake an orgasm and get away with it because their partners are too self-absorbed with their own self-gratification to pay attention or care. A woman knows that something is supposed to happen, and sometimes she will ride the moans and groans of her partner, imitating the sounds, but never really feeling her own luxurious surges of arousal and passion. A woman may pretend to be aroused because she does not know and accept her own body, nor does she understand what she's even missing. Men have the obvious externalized demonstration of their excitement through ejaculation. A woman's contact with the sacred sexual part of her being is an internal path into dark, mysterious depths. Hence the black color for women and the white color for men. For these basic reasons, the two differing sexual identities have been used as the basis for understanding the power of energy stored within the body. To utilize the body for optimal fulfillment in every endeavor, especially in sex, you must be fully present in your body, fully occupying every particle of your being. Even though you have a prominent physical gender, you have both divine feminine and divine masculine vibrations within you. The whole left side of your body is feminine and ruled by the right mind. And your whole right side of your body is masculine, ruled by the left brain. According to your biology, your genitals decree the identity you are learning how to navigate life through this time. Although the degree of masculinity and femininity will vary. There are no mistakes in biology, and no mistakes in who you are and the identity your soul chose before your physical body was even created. You did not get stuck at the bottom of some list and had no choice in the matter. That is a shadow ego illusion. Each and every lifetime you live is significantly interwoven with layers of purpose and plans that are connected in a much larger vista of multidimensional reality. You have been both man and woman on your multidimensional journey through the human form, and even though you may not consciously recall your various identities, your personal timeline records are stored in various layers of the subconscious and unconscious minds in the Lak'esh. Sometimes certain talents and abilities will seep through into your current awareness and will create a more masculine-like qualities in a woman or more feminine characteristics in a man. This is natural and normal and good. Self-acceptance is not only an important key to understanding your identity, it is the sign of an awakened mind. You are a self-selected expression of a larger form of consciousness learning about itself through the intricate wonders of the game of life. On some level, you are predisposed to outline your life as a man or a woman. Yet, how you manage energy throughout your various dips and dives into the physical reality and beyond definitely determines the qualities of what you are available for. You chose your body this time to experience definite things for your soul's evolution. Sexuality and psychic abilities naturally intertwine with one another. And with this cosmic acceleration of energy and photons beaming your planet, activating a spiritual awakening within humanity, combined with entering the age of Aquarius, both men and women, the world over, are breaking their bonds with limiting beliefs and thought patterns that have trapped and stifled the creative mind. Women in general currently have the greater tendency to switch their attention from one reality to another, and most women do so, often without realizing it. This ability is inherent in both human sexes. Women also tend to establish a deeper connection with their biological structure and are more naturally psychic because of their monthly menstrual cycles, which generally begins around the age of 12 or 13 and ceases during the late 40s or 50s or even 60s. At the onset of womanhood, the appearance of the first blood creates a psychic, spiritual vortex of energy, a personal power portal entrained to the moon. Pregnancy and childbirth can further intensify a woman's bond with her body. Unfortunately, many women have denied themselves the pleasures of the body because both men and women have been taught over millennia to regard the menstruation process with extreme disfavor, while ironically accepting the violated, pain-ridden blood through the means of war. When women condemn the body for its natural functions, they only call forth physical problems because their cells follow their commands. The dislike and ignorance for this life-giving process have resulted in all sorts of modern-day female ailments. The bleeding cycle of humanity is the very characteristic of the female body that embodies the fertile, nurturing mother goddess energy. And during that special time of the month when the blood appears, the doors to transcending 3D reality have been flung wide open. During the past 2,000 years, the power of the female body and the menstrual cycle have been ridiculed and diminished. Yet a woman's blood knowledge was once cherished and respected farther back in time. In the rhythm of a woman's life, the appearance of her bleeding time is when and how she makes contact with Mother Nature's mysterious entrainment with the moon. This is the depth of her magic. To be able to lead the way for humanity with grace and compassion into harmony with nature provides the gift for bringing forth life. The presence of the moon flow blood produces various degrees of psychic sensitivity depending on the individual. The ether is always full of activity, and when women get psychically opened each month, havoc can be created if they do not understand what is happening or have not healed their psychic wounds. Sometimes women want to retreat, to withdraw, and to hide away for a few days to buffer themselves from the barrage of frequencies they can sense and feel, but so often do not understand. The male vibration is the grounding force for this natural psychic opening. So men need to honor and respect their own part in balancing the power of the menstruation cycle, and women need to honor the fact that they have the divine masculine within them. Throughout history, men have certainly demonstrated their own immense psychic abilities and feats of renown. However, just as with women over the past 2,000 years, the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual suffering that men have experienced through war and the persecution of magical psychic abilities has imprinted the gene pool with tremendous records of fear and pain and suffering, particularly in the male experience. Men are learning to accept that their sensitivities and vulnerabilities are indeed their true inner strengths, and that honesty is the key to a clear conscience and peace of mind. Men are challenged as well to accept accountability for their sexual power, which has a completely different energetic charge than what women experience. Men need to understand that their personal power resides in activating and embracing their feelings and emotions, a side of themselves that most men have not even considered. When a man's feelings are actively engaged with his sexual energy, he will experience new levels of intimacy. Although it is very important to have a well-structured physical body, real strength is about trusting one's self, one's family, and one's partner, as well as other men and women. The task for men is to trust others with their own truth, to recognize the arrogant ignorance and folly of war, and to honor and respect and nurture all life. Human biology is driven to procreate, so you can learn firsthand how to manage the energy of creation. Pregnancy is a symbol of growth, a promise of renewal and responsibility. When a man and woman have good, earthy sex, fully occupying their bodies and enjoying the pleasure their bodies provide, while laughing and loving their way into a cosmic experience, they vastly enrich their connection to each other and the cosmos. A child conceived in such an environment will be a stalwart member of the human race, especially when the sensuous energy of nature is added to support the endeavor, like making love outdoors in a private setting under the light of the silvery moon, or in the heat of the sun's life-enhancing rays on a beach. Sex for the purpose of creating life is best when filled with joyful pleasure, for it conditions the relationship between the man, woman, and child. During the actual process of inception, egg and sperm tweetle and chirp at each other as the sperm rush in to bring their song to the goddess. The egg actually makes an inaudible sound like a mating call, the one sperm that genetically best suits the requirements of that song, and the non-physical soul desiring birth through this union, will then resonate with the song of the egg and match the egg's vibration. That one sperm will be pulled forward by the resonation, appearing to beat out the other sperm. If only the so-called fastest or hardiest sperm won every time, then all of humanity would be physically perfect and not spiritually in touch. Remember, you qualify for your genealogy and time of birth. So pregnancy and the birth process involves many layers of agreements. If you want children, then it is best to first make contact with them through the dream state. Before going to sleep, focus your intentions on finding and communicating with the soul that will become your future child. Call them and welcome them into your life. Roll out the psychic red carpet. Although you can go for years and years without even having sex, sexual activity is actually a necessity for overall physical well-being. Sexual energy keeps you young and strong, and through sexual intimacy with another person, you make contact with your spirit. As people get older, even if they are still in marriage or some arranged partnership, they often stop having sex for one reason or another. In this case, they can self-pleasure themselves. Even health professionals are realizing that masturbation and other forms of self-pleasuring are essential for personal development and overall well-being. People who go without sex for long periods of time often experience a variety of physical problems. Stimulating the physical body is essential, and it is far more fun and productive with a partner, but not essential. As you age and become more discriminating, you are better able to tune into your partner because you are both more psychic and have the wisdom that your experience affords. Your sacred site has been visited more than a few times, and you have also cycled the sun many times to claim knowledge from the cosmos. Sex naturally becomes more than just a genital rubbing experience, and only gets better with age. You have wisdom, you have built paths into the forest, and you have ideally reached the point of accepting your body, having overcome the awkward self-conscious body fixations of youth. You are now making love to your soulmate, not just using a body for self-stimulation. So things like a softer tummy or love handles and a less firm derriere do not make much of a difference. In any long-term relationship, you will ride a roller coaster in regard to your sex life. If you were always climbing the peak of Everest, it would become rather exhausting. Traversing sexual peaks and valleys is part of a mature relationship. However, as you got to know each other better, you will have noticed that there is lots of great energy around after great sex. It enhances your relationship. You want to do things for each other afterwards that you might not have even considered before. Sex is a super exchange of energy. Sexual expression is your contact with the creator of the omniverse. And sex is really about how you use sacred power. If you are holding a secret about your sex life, or you have to manipulate energy, yours or your partner's, even just to have sex, then this is a direct misuse of your integrity and your relationship to the prime creator, mother, father, source, God-sciousness. Such activities vibrate at the lower end of the chakra spectrum and the shadow ego awareness. You and only you are responsible for raising your standards, and by doing so you will discover the gourmet version of the sexual energy menu. The dark and dangerous side of the powers of sexual energy involve possession by non-physical entities. In regard to managing energy, you must ask yourself, am I fully occupying my body? And am I having sex of my own volition? Are my sexual experiences consensual? Do my sexual experiences contain joyful expressions of love-making based on intimacy, trust, and truthfulness with my partner? If you have strong sexual urges, but intimacy, trust, and truthfulness are lacking, boredom with sex can take a hold that will lead to edgier and edgier explorations, often involving pain and humiliation to bring about arousal. The desire for this extreme type of stimulation leads you farther and farther away from the bounds of self-respect and deeper into the dark caverns of entity possession. Remember, when you open sexual vortices, you are playing with the raw primal power of creation, and entities from the lower astral dimensions are very attracted to the sexual energy and life force generated by the shadow ego's dark use of the lower three chakras. However, dear soul, with the presence of intimacy and love, you are invulnerable to possession. They cannot enter and attach themselves to any person who is feeling trust and intimacy and love. When intimacy is feared and real value and respect for the sharing of sacred creative energies are lacking, sex becomes a mere physical gratification of transient desires. Such an approach is ripe for attracting lower vibrational entities that seek a way into physical reality without having to take on the responsibility for fully occupying, owning, and caring for a body. Entity possession is like an invisible illness, and many people cannot break their cycles of dysfunctional sex because they have devalued the sex act and their bodies enough that an entity is attached to their energy fields. Sex has been degraded and perverted in today's society because millions of people have allowed their second chakras to be taken over by beings that use humanity to fulfill their twisted sexual desires. The real impulse behind an addiction to perversion is possession. In most cases, when a person is engaged in non-consensual and/or indiscriminate sex, such as rape and having sex with children or animals, he or she will be in the throes of sexual deceit, which is a signature that non-physical entities are involved. People have the right in this 3D version of Earth reality to explore the hills and valleys of life according to their own choices. We Pleiadians are not here to judge these explorations whatsoever. However, For those seeking a higher level of consciousness, their moral values and the degree of their conscious awareness in all activities will determine the type of experiences they draw to themselves. This is true of all entities. The law of attraction is 100% active at all times. If you have unresolved, painful sexual issues from previous ventures into sexual reality, your beliefs around these experiences will surface, especially, but not only, when you have sex. The darker side of sex is painful, frightening, forceful, controlling, abusive, degrading, destructive, and humiliating. Remember, sex naturally opens the doors of psychic knowledge, whether you want them open or not. Intense sexual experiences, particularly those that may have happened in a person's childhood, are often carryover issues or agreements from other timelines or previous or future lives. Sexual abuse can create severe trauma in an individual, resulting in fragmentation, disorientation, dissociation of the personality, and often amnesia concerning the very events that caused the trauma. At the extreme, the shocking experience of sexual abuse can cause people to go insane or to develop identity disorders, such as multiple personalities, where they apparently lose or relinquish contact with their aspects of their core self because it is too painful to remember. In any case, trauma of any kind can induce a dramatic heightening of physical and psychic sensitivities, activating the body's natural response to heal and upgrade and protect itself in preparation for states of enhanced vigilance. If sex were considered universally by humanity a sacred act, your world would be heaven on earth. The sex slave market is a multi-billion-dollar operation, with its tentacles reaching into every continent and every layer of society, where men, women, and children are bought and sold as sexual objects. A variety of nefarious groups engage in organized sexual abuse, using sexual energy to exhibit control over others, and in rituals as a life force offering for calling up dark, demonic entities and enticing them into physical reality. After all, sexual energy is the most vital of forces that exists within you, and for this reason, those engaged in mind control activities use sexual energy to control and direct their slaves. Sex produces a tremendous amount of energy, and like atomic energy, it can blow holes into other dimensions. This is why people who have non-consensual and/or indiscriminate sex attract lower vibrational entities that will match and meet the fantasy thought forms the person is entertaining. Thoughts and desires are charged up with the power of sexual energy, enhanced. The entities will then occupy and take over the body and run the person's sexuality. It is very easy to have a non-physical entity take over your genitals when you have no value for your own body. Now this is Crispy talking directly to you, my friend. If you are addicted to watching porn, especially the darker, power-oriented, controlling, violent varieties, then you are most likely the host to a lower astral hungry ghost negative entity. It has attached itself to you, to your damaged sacral chakra. They can control your impulses, and that's where your addiction is coming from. You are feeding this hungry ghost with your leaking sacral chakra. You need to heal that aspect of you that has received traumas. And here is one approach that I promise you will work every time. You must use unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and unconditional trust. Say to the entity, "Hello, dear old friend. I have unconditional trust that you found me for the reason and purpose to show me my unhealed wounds. Thank you so deeply for teaching me to heal myself. I have unconditional love for you for that service. I am so grateful to you, for you are teaching me to have unconditional love for myself. I also have unconditional forgiveness to you. This is not your fault. You are not evil. And I also have unconditional forgiveness to myself for inviting you into my life. Your services are no longer required here. Thank you. I love you. I forgive you. And you must leave my body now." And then, dear soul, open your heart chakra and shower your sacral chakra with unconditional love from your heart chakra. Send the energy down. Heal yourself. You can heal yourself. Only you can heal yourself. And your heart chakra is open wider now. It is spinning and it is sending love, unconditional love, down to your root chakra. Your root chakra is now opening and spinning and receiving the love from your heart chakra. And your heart chakra is now sending love down to your solar plexus chakra. All three of your lower chakras are open and spinning and brightly colored and clearing out all of the negative energies and attachments that have been there. You are now sending unconditional love to all 7 of your chakras. All of them are lit up like the sacred, holy, and divine rainbow that you are. And, dear soul, never watch porn again. Another factor you may wish to consider is that many of these sites have subliminal messages woven into their videos. So, remove those from your life and you are now back in control of your sacred, holy, and divine sexuality. And now back to the Pleiadians. It is also possible to become possessed when you have no emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual boundaries. if you operate in a sea of confusion and can barely commit to a decision in life, or operate without love for yourself and your body, then you are basically hanging out a vacancy sign advertising free room and board for lower astral hungry ghosts. Sometimes wounds in this reality are simultaneously occurring in another vista of experience with another version of you in a different timeline. Be more aware of the bridging of events from linear time to multidimensional time beyond time by blending your emotional intelligence with your intuition and acknowledging with mental clarity the synchronic nature of life's events. A higher version of yourself is always working with you to assist with your spiritual integration. Remember, the opportunities for spiritual connections are so immense in this time that the healings you realize now create a ripple of vibrations and frequencies into the web of existence. Your creative healing contributions to the motion of the cosmic dance are felt everywhere and everywhen. It is important to know that your consciousness is always working to integrate and heal, to gain full insight and knowledge into the whys and wherefores of your experiences. Sexual abuse can be seen as a personally empowering experience in retrospect, if you ask yourself the true purpose of your wounding and seek to understand the multi-layered, multi-dimensional, multi-timeline significance concerned with the abuse. What did you learn about yourself and those who abused your sexual sacred sites? Your realizations will give you the opportunity to come face to face with your higher self through this intimate contact with another human being who may mirror hidden aspects of yourself and most likely has karmic connections. Lifestyles and sex styles that have been popularized in the media, such as multiple partner relationships, do not represent a healthy, nurturing life. Energetically, the process of multiple partners becomes very, very confusing and draining to all involved, although the shadow ego really gets off on it for a while. When there are too many people involved in a relationship, the levels of honesty and depth of integrity are compromised. Your cells know when they are not being valued. If you're going to be in a relationship, whether it is the same-sex relationship or opposite-sex relationship, be committed to it. Explore the subtle nuances of romance and allow the mysteries of sensuality to blossom. Be certain that if you are having sex with someone, you have feelings of love, appreciation, and trust for that person. If you are having sex with someone you do not trust, run away. Heal your wounds. Healthy, wholesome sex has honesty and truthfulness at the foundation. When you can build a relationship of intimacy based on reliability, trust, integrity, and good fun, you can begin to activate all kinds of awareness codes in the DNA, enhancing your life through the knowledge you gain. Sexuality that is expressed and qualified and cherished will attract vibrational entities that will imbue the coupling with a cosmic knowledge experience. Just like dark sex attracts lower astral entities, spiritual love-making attracts higher angelic presences. This was known long ago on your planet as the ultimate gift of love for balancing a community. A good, bonded, loving experience between two people, creating a good, honest, loving orgasm, will ripple out into the neighborhood. Energy is not confined by walls. A neighborhood with strong family bonds based on love and good sex is going to make a better community, providing peace and prosperity throughout the lands. Imagine whole towns of people treasuring their sexual explorations. Couples loving, laughing, and valuing each other in the privacy of their own discoveries. When sexual expression is honored as a doorway to the creative energy of existence, the whole world will vibrate with a much greater awareness of the spiritual purpose of life. Sex is vibrant, spiritual, creative energy, and used wisely, it can enhance the world. When you are suspended in orgasmic bliss, you are experiencing the healing energy of creation, and these energetic frequencies contribute their vibrations to the community and to the earth herself. Good sex is good business for all. You contribute to the great dance of energy when you accept yourself as a sexual being and ideally re-examine your sexual experiences in a new light, seeing all of them as great teachings for how to master energy. The Pleiades star cluster has long been affiliated with spiritual growth through sexual development, producing an energetic frequency to provide wealth and beauty in the 3D world on Earth. Our home, in the sign of Taurus, the bull, is noted for vigorous, fertile, and high-spirited energy. Various planetary, lunar, and solar alignments with the Pleiades provide new codes for sexual dignity, the effects of which will heighten your value and understanding of sexual pleasure. Strong bonds of love and trust in a partnership are essential for the deep exploration of multidimensional realities through sexual energy. A relationship grounds you in this reality, so that in your journeys to the stars you remember who you are and where you are from. Have you had lifetimes in the Pleiades? Will you have lifetimes in the Pleiades? The answer is, of course, yes to both questions. There are many ways to use your body that you have not yet believed into existence. And as you change your beliefs about sex and the sacredness of the human body, you will be the recipient of untold, rewarding understandings. This cosmic 52-year nanosecond provides the opportunities to understand the energies of empowerment through developing different perspectives of reality. It is important to know that challenging situations arise to initiate change, the resolution of old issues, and there are none more potent than sexual issues. These challenging situations and dealing with them frees you to have a more meaningful, emotionally fulfilling connection to all of life. Use your body as an honored and respected sexual vehicle to explore your identity and to receive the teachings of knowledge as mature sexual codes. Sexuality has long been practiced as a form of receiving and transmitting energy. So when you are in the midst of the love-making process, by all means enjoy where you are. However, you can learn to enhance the immediacy of your physical pleasure by being present in the moment and aware of other nows. Remember, sexual energy is powerful stuff. It creates the boost needed to open windows and doors to other dimensions. And it is healing and rejuvenating and ignites your creativity. Great passion has an even greater purpose, so please be aware of the power you are playing with. Remember again, the quality and clarity of your intent will set the frequency for what you experience, and this holds true for any endeavor. Once again, complete trust and honesty in a relationship will ground the sexual energies in your body, allowing for a much more exciting ride. The new frontier of multidimensional living and healing attracts stalwart pioneers. Many of you made agreements to learn lessons and to heal, to make connections and bridge realities in ways that are foreign to your current society's system of beliefs. In the journey of consciousness, how you earn a living is much less important than how you manage energy and how you feel about what you are doing. Now, the opportunity you are immersed in is both immense and subtle at the same time. Everything seems to be happening more quickly, and quite simply, you reincarnated to challenge and integrate many teachings, including Pleiadian and other extraterrestrial-centered transmissions. Be open to the virtues and fortitudes of the human body. Think of it as sacred, holy, and divine, because it is. Value sexual activity as an admirable and celebrated art form of creation. Remember to pay closer attention to what your body is saying. How has sex enhanced your spiritual growth? And what have you learned about yourself through your sexual experiences so far? Sexual contact can stimulate the cells to become a sensory library of knowledge, a tribute to beauty and pleasure and love. Allow yourself to feel the power and vitality that are naturally yours and live to express them. Dear soul, it is your personal responsibility to seek and share sexual pleasure with awareness of divinity, as an honorable being, with respect for your body and your partners, and with reverence for the knowing that you too can enhance the cosmic dance. In fact, you were born to.